Hello and welcome to a video on Railgun Rampage. So this is a final stand assignment, and like all final stand assignments it has the same basic requirements. You must be rank 10 or above, you must own the final stand DLC, and you must have played on a final stand map. Now those last two you have to do anyway because the Rorsch MK-1 only spawns on final stand maps. To complete the assignment you must destroy 10 vehicles with the Rorsch MK-1, so that means you must get the vehicle destroyed message from damage with the Rorsch, and you must get 25 kills with the Rorsch MK-1. If you complete both of those, then you will unlock the Rorsch MK-1 dog tag. So let's take a look at the Rorsch. First thing to note is that the Rorsch MK-1 is a battlefield pickup. You can't equip it in your soldier layout, you can't unlock it, you just have to go and find it on the map. It spawns on a couple of crates and you pick it up and use it. So let's have a look at where you can find it. So here we are on Operation Whiteout, and there are two spawns for the railgun on this map. The first one is here, and it's by a broken down snowcat and trailer. Each of the railguns on this map can be found near a player spawn, so in this case it's between this spawn and the A flag. If you follow the road out of A towards F, then you'll find the railgun and the snowcat. The other railgun is at the other end of the map, and you can see it here. It's in between F and D at the little camp. So each team really has its own railgun on Operation Whiteout. Next is Giants of Karelia, and I only know of one railgun spawn on this map. There might be another one across the valley, but the one I know is above C on top of the hill, and it's here by this building that vents out steam. So if you come around the corner, there it is on the two crates on the floor. This one's pretty easy to find. You've got the dome at C, you've got the building venting smoke, and you've got the helicopter landing pad. So the best place to spawn for this one is either C or F. Hangar 21, there's two railguns on this map. The first one is here at D, and it's on top of the tower. So again, it spawns on a couple of boxes and it's just sitting there ready for you to pick up. Across the map on the other side there's a railgun sitting in the snow between F and C. So it's pretty easy to find, but it is out in the open. In fact, both the railguns are quite open and very easy to be sniped at, so be careful on this one. On Hammerhead I only know of one railgun spawn, and it's this one here. Now this spawns in between the fishing village, which is F, and E, which I think is the ruined village. There should be another railgun on this map, but I can't find it, and it should be on the other side of the hill towards the other base. But like I say, that's the only one I can find. Here's a clumsy edit because the other railgun is on the bridge in between E and the US spawn. I put the video together and somebody told me where it is. Back to the railgun, and really this thing is just a big bolt action sniper, so it does have scope sway. Holding shift will stop the sway just like it will do on any sniper rifle. When I take my shots, a little green box is about to appear to show you the difference between pressing the trigger and the gun firing. There's a good second delay in between the two. You click the mouse button, then the crosshairs will go red, and then the gun will fire. This means you have to keep tracking your target after you've pressed the mouse button. Now this scope does have variable zoom, but I find using it on full magnification at range is your best bet. But because of the zoom, it's hard to catch your targets. So aim with the crosshairs, then zoom in, because if you zoom in and try and find your target, it's pretty tough. So aim with the crosshairs, get it roughly lined up, and then zoom in. If you stay at range, even things like helicopters are pretty easy to keep your crosshairs over. Because the Rorsch is a battlefield pickup, you can't reload it. You can stand on an ammo bag all day, but you will not get more than the 8 shots it comes with. So you have to pick your targets carefully, particularly when it comes to vehicles. Using the Rorsch against armour isn't particularly effective. Against an LAV or a tank, it seems to do between about 14 and 18 damage on average, so it would take a lot of shots to take down a tank or an LAV. A far better option are helicopters and jets. It does 30 damage against those, and helicopters and jets are less likely to disappear behind cover, although it will instantly kill one if somebody's put explosives on it for some reason. Usually it does 30 damage and a mobility hit, which unfortunately means it often falls out of the sky if the pilot isn't very good, meaning you don't get the vehicle destroyed. And you'll often kill the pilot before you kill the helicopter, which also means you don't get a vehicle destroyed, but you do get a kill towards the assignment. Another thing that can steal your kills and vehicle destroys is the Rorsch's pretty poor hit detection. Even when you're slap bang on target, sometimes your shots will just go straight through. You can even see them hitting the vehicle, it just doesn't do any damage. And if you're suffering from lag or a high ping, forget about the railgun. Shooting gadgets or the XD1 doesn't count as a vehicle destroy, that will come up as an equipment destroyed. And you can't shoot down the bomber with the railgun. You can damage it, but because it's only doing 11 damage a shot, you don't have time to put enough shots into the bomber to knock it down. So you can get 4 or 5 shots in, but that's only a maximum of 55 damage. Let's have a look at a couple of things not to do with the railgun. Once you've pressed the trigger, do not duck back into cover. This thing has splash damage. If you shoot the ground or a wall near you, it's going to kill you. So you have to remember your surroundings when using the railgun. Even if you hit the floor somewhere close to you, it's going to do quite a bit of splash damage. So avoid shooting the ground, unless it's the ground near an enemy, because you can kill them with the splash damage too. So that shot missed, but he still died. The splash damage seems to have quite a big area. Something else you shouldn't do with the railgun is stay in the same area. When you fire the railgun, you light up like a Christmas tree. So here it is slowed down. You'll get to see the railgun in all its glory. Not only does it fire out of the front, it also fires light out of the back. So your best bet is shoot and move. The railgun's got a reload time of 7 seconds anyway, so you might as well take advantage of it and just be out of the way, because everybody's going to notice that shot. Finally, on the do's and don'ts, because this is a battlefield pickup, you can steal it. So kill the guy with it and you can pick it up, but it will only have the ammunition that he had left. So in this case, I only got 2 rounds. The easy part of this assignment is the infantry kills, and there's the other railgun on this map, so I know I'm missing one on Hammerhead, but I don't know where it is. Infantry kills are pretty easy. This is in effect just a big sniper rifle, so all you have to do is treat it as such. Get your target, steady your aim and fire. Now here you're going to see an example of the railgun not killing somebody. It does splash damage him but doesn't kill him, because I think I hit the rocks just in front. Second shot he's not so lucky, but it is possible to damage somebody with a railgun but not kill them. And you really want to keep the railgun at range, so this is about as close as I like to get with it. And I have killed somebody close up, but the delay in firing often means that you're dead before you get your shot off. So stay at range, move between shots, and you should be fine. This thing has no bullet drop. So unlike a sniper rifle where when you go up to long ranges you've got to take account of bullet drop, with this you don't need to, and you don't need to take any notice of lead times either. As long as you keep the crosshairs on them while the trigger delay is going on, you'll hit them. So it's quite easy to use, just takes a bit of getting used to. Vehicles is where the Rorsch suffers. So here you can see me taking pot shots at this LAV, and I'm doing 14 damage to it. I think you can do up to 20 damage to it if you get it exactly right, but it's not easy. Infantry, as you can see, far easier. And with the railgun, long range means long range. There is no shot too far with the railgun. Just from one side of the map to the other, you can get kills. The biggest weakness of the railgun is targets moving through cover, because you're not going to be able to judge exactly when the railgun's going to fire and exactly where your target's going to be. So pick your shots. You've only got 8, so pick them carefully, go for targets that are in the clear and you know you're going to get a guaranteed shot at. Stick to those kind of things and the infantry kills are easy. What isn't so easy for this assignment is getting the vehicle destroys. So here you can see me taking pot shots at an LAV, and I do between about 14 and 19 damage. And if you're doing 14 damage to a vehicle, well, that's 8 shots to take it down. So taking out armoured vehicles on your own just isn't really practical. You've only got 8 shots. So you miss one, if you're only doing 14 damage, you're not going to take that LAV out. So your best bet is to go for different targets, or go for armoured targets that are already damaged. A tank or LAV that's smoking or is on fire, that's a good target to go for. But a tank or LAV that's at full health, well, that's probably best ignored and pick a better target. As you can see here, this LAV is standing up to multiple shots and it doesn't look like it's going to be going down anytime soon. So there's no point wasting all your ammo on an LAV or tank to try and get one vehicle destroyed when you might not actually do enough damage to kill it. So be opportunistic and look out for those damaged tanks and vehicles, like this one hiding under here, and if you're lucky you'll get the final shot into it and you'll get the vehicle destroyed. And it's pointless shooting at a tank or LAV that's been repaired, because the guy doing the repair will actually repair damage faster than you can inflict it with a railgun. Avoid shooting empty vehicles as well, because you'll get nothing for them. Even though this LAV is burning and I actually destroy it with the railgun, I don't get anything for it because it doesn't register the hit. When it comes to registering hits, that's another problem that the railgun has. Sometimes it just doesn't acknowledge that you've hit a vehicle at all. In that case you could see the railgun explosion coming off the side of the helicopter, but there was no hit marker and there was no vehicle damage. So I don't know if it's the net code, if it's lag sometimes, but I think because this weapon has a different projectile model to every other, maybe it's got a few issues that need tweaking. By far the best option I found for getting the vehicle destroyed is actually going for aerial vehicles, so helicopters and jets. Helicopters do suffer from an issue whereby when you hit them you do enough damage to give them a vehicle mobility kill, so they often crash. So helicopters at low level aren't your best targets because they just go down in a ball of flames, but a high flying helicopter gives you the option of that second shot. And there is a second advantage for taking shots at helicopters, and that is getting infantry kills. So many times when you shoot a helicopter, the helicopter will survive, but everybody inside will die. And it's the same with jets, you'll often kill the pilot before you destroy the vehicle. So targeting jets and helicopters is not only a good way to get the vehicle destroyed, you'll also get quite a lot of infantry kills this way. The best map for taking out helicopters is probably this, Whiteout, and the best map for taking out jets is Giants of Karelia. You can get onto that central hill and you can see pretty much all the airspace around you. And Whiteout gives you quite a wide open view of the airspace as well. Now you can have the same problem with jets that you have with helicopters. You hit the jet but kill the pilot, and that means you're not going to get the vehicle destroyed even when it crashes. Now Giants of Karelia is by far the best map for taking out jets, and they're pretty easy to hit once you get the hang of it. You have to hit them in the bottom of a loop or at the end of a turn, so you get the right angle and that period where they're either coming straight towards you or straight away from you. It does take practice like any skill in Battlefield, but after a while you will be consistently knocking jets out of the sky with the railgun. And the jets really have no defense against it because they've got no lock, they can't hear it coming, they can't see it coming, and it's pretty much an instant hit. And the majority of my vehicle kills came from attack jets and attack helicopters, which also seem to be pretty easy to take down in comparison to the other helicopters. And I know it's a bit against the logic of the game, but you want the jets as far away as possible. It's far easier to track them when they're off in the distance. Their turns aren't quite so severe, and it's much easier to keep the sights on them with your limited turning speed when you're aiming down sights. It takes usually 2 or 3 shots to take down a jet, so a jet on 100% health you can knock out the sky with 3 shots. One that's taken a bit of damage from the AA or from the other jets, well, sometimes you can be lucky to take one out in a single shot, but usually a couple of shots will see off a jet that's damaged. So you can see 2 or 3 shots for a jet, or 7 or 8 shots for an infantry fighting vehicle. Going for the jets and the helicopters makes sense. And of course, taking down the jets and the helicopters also gets you infantry kills. So my tips for this assignment are: choose your map. Whiteout is probably the best for infantry kills, and Giants of Karelia is probably best for getting jet and helicopter kills. Remember that range is your friend. You've got a massive scope and an unlimited range on the gun. It makes it far easier for you to track targets, and they can't really shoot back. But you are lighting up like a Christmas tree, so keep moving. Stick to that and you're probably going to get this dog tag pretty quickly. So once I'd learnt the tricks, it took me 4 or 5 rounds to unlock the Railgun dog tag and complete Railgun Rampage. So here you can see at the end of the round, the assignment's complete. Remember to use the assignments tab to track your progress. White sections are the bar of what you've got in previous rounds. The orange section is what you've got in the round that's just ended. And if you go to the Unlocks tab, you can see the dog tag is sitting in there. The Rorsch MK-1 dog tag is unlocked. Here's a quick recap of the assignment. Railgun Rampage, you need to be rank 10 or above, and you need to own the Final Stand DLC and have played on a Final Stand map, although you'll have to do both of those anyway because the Railgun only spawns on Final Stand maps. To complete the assignment, you need to destroy 10 vehicles with a Rorsch MK-1, so that means you need 10 vehicle destroyed messages from damage caused by the Rorsch, and you need to get 25 kills with the Rorsch MK-1. Complete both of those and you get the Rorsch MK-1 dog tag. So I hope this video gives you a few tips and tricks to help you unlock Railgun Rampage and get to know the Rorsch MK-1 Railgun a bit better. Thanks for watching.